This is my garage.
How's it going, guys, and welcome back to my garage. Alrighty, so today we are going to be doing the final touches to this truck. So I still needed to go and get a new dashboard for this thing, but I was kind of thinking now, since the update to the pause menu over here, we don't have the taxi to interior store anymore. So that is a bit of a problem. Not really a problem, but it's a bit of a change. So yeah, it looks like we are gonna have to either drive over to the interior store or just buy the stuff out of the catalog. So I guess that is what we are probably gonna have to do here today. Just gonna buy some of the parts from the catalog and see if we can change the color of the interior to match the truck a little bit better. Not sure which color I want to go for. Maybe we'll go with something custom. I don't know. But okay, first things first, I need to see if we can get the engine, which we built in the last episode, the diesel inline 6, basically just installed. So we're going to drop it in. We're going to grab our wrench over here. Let's zip it down. And now just got to wait for that lag. Okay. Luckily, the lag doesn't seem to be so bad anymore while installing engines. Used to be very terrible. Okay, where's this? Yeah, that's just the thing working on lifted vehicles like this. You kind of struggle to get to the bolts. But okay, yeah, this is also another issue. Working under the truck like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this no clip over here. Alright, so that is all bolted up. And now we just need to see if we can get to all these transmission bolts. Okay, yeah, it's actually not so hard doing this with the truck lifted. It's actually a bit easier to do the transmission bolts. But okay, I think we are sorted. We've got our new exhaust. So this is a inline 4 exhaust, but it also works on the diesel. Okay, so there we go. That's our exhaust installed, and it comes out at the back. So that looks pretty decent. So yeah, this truck is definitely getting there. It's still needs the fuel line. Okay, then we should be able to get some fluids into this thing and get it fired up, hopefully. I don't know, we'll see how that's gonna work. Fuel line bolts down over here somewhere. Can we get to that bolt? Where the heck is it? Is it? Yeah, this is a bit of an issue. Okay, let me just see if I can manage this. I might have to get over there with the no clip mod. There it is. Okay, so that is sorted, and it looks like the fuel line doesn't really work out so well on the B200, but it's okay. We managed to get it installed. Okay, so you guys know the drill by now. I'm going to do the fluids, and then we're going to see if this thing wants to fire up. There's no oil in it, and we just dropped the freaking dipstick. Okay, put that back into there. All right, let me quickly grab the fluids over here. We're going to top this up, and I'll bring you back once this is done. All right, so we should be good on oil and coolant now. So that seems to have been sorted. So we just need to get this cap back onto there. And now there's just one more thing that I kind of forgot. One little tiny attention to detail. And yep, you've guessed it. So our fuel tank over here is probably still full of gasoline, and we need to change this over to diesel. So yeah, this is gonna probably not go into this car because we've got a full tank of gas in that one. Okay, let me grab this. I don't know if we're gonna need the wrench really. Okay, let's come over here. We're gonna see if we can dump it into our ramp truck, which is usually one of the hardest vehicles to refuel in the game. Okay, so I don't know how this is going to work out, but we need to get this gas out of here regardless. Okay. No, it doesn't seem like it's working, and the collisions are a little bit wild, so... Well, I guess we'll just chuck it out on the floor then. Is that empty now? It looks like it. Okay, well... I guess that's one way of doing it. Alright, now we need to take this over to the gas pump over there, across the street, and just get it filled up with diesel. Right, let's do it. We'll just run along here. Right. Hopefully this is going to work. Okay, let's try this. Nope. You need to fill. There we go. Alright, it's filling. Filling this up with diesel, and yeah, hopefully there's no more gas registered in this tank. Otherwise we are just ending up making one big mixture of fuel and diesel here, which is not going to be ideal. But okay, apparently that is full, so that is 47 liters. That means that we've got a mixture of diesel and fuel in this thing. Yeah, I don't know. If this doesn't work, I'll just have to buy a new gas tank and we'll have to abandon this one. Now, I left my wrench outside, you know, that's not very clever. Alright, come on, let's just grab this. Alright, put this back in under here. And yeah, guys, we've got some airplanes going overhead, so I don't know if it's going to pick up on the microphone, but guess we'll just see when we end the video. Alright, let's jump into this thing and see if it wants to fire up. We've got the glow plug light now. Okay, it says the tank is full. Alright, well, it's starting and it's dying, so yeah, you know what, that's just one of those things that we can't really do anything about, because I think this gas tank is probably either bugged or whatever. But okay, just some quick little bit of a sneak peek for what's coming with this Jason for you guys. You can kind of see what I'm heading towards with that car. Alright, so let's quickly get ourselves a new gas tank for the B200. I don't think it matters what engine we select, but we're just going to do i6D for the hell of it, I guess. Now we need to find this gas tank, which is over there. Okay, let's go and try this again. Okay, hopefully if we add diesel to it from the get-go, it'll be fine. Because I tried to get the gasoline out of that tank and it didn't want to work. So yeah, we're just going to have to do it like this. So let's keep filling this thing up to the brim. So the plans for this truck is we are going to be putting this thing up for auction. See how much money we can make off of it. Because we are not really out of money, but we are getting a little bit low on money. So I've been spending a lot of money getting vehicles built and finished up. I should probably also show you guys a little bit of the progress on the Mercedes, the Wolf in the shop. So I managed to get that thing painted up as well. So it's looking pretty good. We just need to do interior in this thing, and this car will also be ready to go down the road once again. Alright. I'm just going to install our new gas tank with the diesel in. Alright, just like that. Come on, there we go. Alright, now it's going to be the moment of truth. Is this thing going to fire up? Hopefully it does. Alright, wait for the glow plugs, and there we go. Alright, so that fired up, no problem. It actually sounds pretty good. Alright, so let's pull this thing out. So we need to do a little bit more work to this thing before we take it over to the paint shop. You guys may have noticed the ramp truck is parked out there with the ramps lower down. So we're going to be putting this thing up onto the ramp truck and taking it over to the paint shop. And we're also going to see if we have got any issues with crossing the bridge and going to Middletown, because there was already a patch for it apparently, because there was a little bit of a bug. So fortunately I didn't experience it, because I didn't do any well, I didn't play the game while that update was still out. So I guess that all worked out. So we need to get a couple of accessories for this truck, and I'm kind of hoping that it is actually a stock grill that we've got on that thing. So hopefully this is going to work. We're going to need some of this. I think we've got some light bulbs kicking around still. Let's go over to interior as well. We still need, I forgot about the other the grill parts, but I think that falls under body. So let's quickly get those headlight shrouds. What do they call those things again? I can't recall now what it's called, but once I see it, I'll know what it is. It's called a lamp trim, I think, or a headlight trim. I don't see it here, so it's probably under accessories. So I must have missed it. Let's go back to here. Let's just see if I can find it. Okay, so it's a trim lamp left and trim lamp right. Okay, let's see if this is gonna be everything we need in order to sort this out. Okay, so 2 headlights. So these would probably go in first. All right, let's see. There we go. All right, so it looks like a base game grill, which is great. Okay, let's zip this down. All right, just like that. And where's our... Yeah, there they are. We've got some bulbs in here for the blinkers. All right, let's grab our headlight. Pop the headlight into there. So I think this is the only thing that was really missing on the truck at the front still. Lamp trim right. Okay, let's pop that into there. Does that screw down? I don't think it does. I think it just pops in and pops out with the pry tool. So we should be good. All right, let's get this one onto the driver's side. And now we just need to do this. Right, so that is empty and we still got 2 bulbs in this box. We'll just put it on the table there real quick. Okay, pop this into here. That one into there, and we'll grab this. This is for the right. Okay, I don't want to put this in a backpack because, yeah, things seem to go weird in the backpack sometimes. Especially like this, if you have got light bulbs in a blinker and you put it in your backpack, sometimes the bulbs kind of disappear, but they are still there. So just going to go ahead and avoid that altogether. All right, so what do we still need to do on this thing? We've got the trim at the back. We've got all the trim on the sides. We do need this fender trim over here, which is missing, and also this one on this side. So that's the 2 front fender trims, or I don't know what they call it even. So let's just see. We are on accessories. It's probably this front left and front right. Front right, yes. This seems to be the right one. Okay, and let's grab the other one over here. Okay, so now the other elephant in the room we need to address is the interior. Which, as I said, the dashboard needs to be replaced. The door cards and this bench and the gear stick actually looks pretty good, but let's just go ahead and buy some brand new interior from the catalog. It's going to make it a little bit easier. Alright, so what do we need? I don't even know if this truck has got a headliner in it yet. Let me see before I buy a new one. Alright, so we've got a headliner, we've got sun visors, we've got a rearview mirror that looks good. So yeah, for this truck we're not going for perfect. We're just going to go with look decent. And technically we only need the dashboard and that. So let's see, what color is the dashboard? I think it's black. Yeah, so we buy brand new dashboard for that. Okay, I think maybe just the dashboard can be black. Then we'll stick to the rest of the interior that we've got in the truck. I mean, we don't have to replace it because it still looks kind of in good shape. Okay, but we are going to pop out our cluster over here. All right, how's the cluster doing? The cluster is 97%, but it's not the original cluster. So yeah, that's a bit of a sad one, but okay. Can't always have your bread buttered on both sides, as they would say, but okay. And now we need to take this little speed digital thing off, and we just took out the windscreen as well. Okay, that's not good, but we'll just pop this back onto the new dash. Okay, onto the new dash. And also let's get our stereo out of here. All right, put that on the ground. Okay, there's a stereo. How's the stereo? 60%. Okay, you know what? That'll still probably work. All right, now we need a screwdriver again. Yeah, these freaking toolboxes. Every time you put a tool back in it, you have to pick the toolbox up again to get your tools out. Don't know if anybody else noticed that before. It's kind of something that I've always had to do, but never really mentioned it in any of my videos. Okay, pop the dashboard in, and there we go. Black dashboard on beige interior, which is fine, I guess. Don't have to have the interior match everywhere. Alright, let's see how this is doing on overall condition now. So we've got 4 stars. Yeah, there's probably still something that needs to be either installed or, you know what we could do? Probably. Let me just see. Have we got the... Yeah, we've got all the drive shafts and everything in there. Let's maybe add a bed cap to this thing. I don't know. Maybe there are some other accessories we can still add to this thing. Make it look a little bit more interesting. Fender stuff. No, those are pre-runner stuff. I'm not going to go with that. Should we add a headache rack? I don't know. I don't want to add too many mods because whoever's going to buy this truck off auction might not have all the mods. We are on accessories. I want to go to body. Let's see what we can do for the body. We could always add the bed cap, I guess, or this is what they call it, the hard top. Yeah, I think let's do one of these. So this is going to be removable. All right, so if we did that, I'm pretty sure this thing would go up to 5 stars without an issue. Okay, and why the heck is it doing that? It's like it wants to fall through the floor and then the thing just respawns. Okay. And now we need to find the windows for it. Hardtop. And I think that one, are we gonna need 2 of those probably. Okay, let's get that into there. Get this into here. And get this one. Why can't we grab this one? What is the story with this now? Is this now bugged or what the heck? We need to take that off first. Okay, this is quite interesting. Yeah, that's not going to work. Alright, let's just buy another one. So what was that? The rear window. Okay, well, we managed to grab one of them. So can we pick up that one with the trash bag? Not like stuff laying around in the shop. Okay, look at us wasting money. But okay. So hardtop is ready to go on. Okay, let's pop this onto here. So this is a base game part, so that's not a modded part. Okay, zip you down. Over there and there, and let's just check the stars. Yeah, we've got 5-star condition. Alright, so that is pretty good. So yeah, this is going to be one mean truck for whoever decides to buy it from us. Okay, what is that? Is that... That could potentially be rust, you know. But yeah, not to worry about it, because we are taking this thing over to the service center anyway, so it's going to be painted and de-rusted and probably also color coated, and then we can also just bring it back to the shop and get it polished, which is going to be a whole other job if you ask me. Oh, we probably need to be seated first before we can actually drive this thing. Okay, you know what, let's just go into third person camera so we can see what the heck we are doing here. Okay, let's also check our taillights if we can. Holy crap, this thing wants to ride over those trolleys. Okay. Alright, do the brake lights work? No, the brake lights don't work. We've got a busted taillight. I just noticed that. Okay. The reverse light on that side works. Blinkers. Nope. Nothing works on there. Okay, so let's maybe sort this out as well first before we take it over to the paint shop. I'm just gonna buy new taillights, I guess. I'll pop new taillights into this thing and call it a day. Alright, let's go and do some more shopping over here. That'll be under accessories. We're going to need some more bulbs. Okay, and taillights. There we go. All right. Let's quickly check this out. I think they only take 2. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, perfect. Let's pop that into there, pop that into there, pop this into here. And, oh, come on. Last one. There we go. All right, so this is empty. You know what? Let's just leave it on the floor. All right, this is the passenger side. Okay, yeah, that is a busted taillight. All right, let's pop you into here. Zip it up. 1%. Yeah, I guess. We'll just throw it on the floor here. We'll grab this one. This is our driver side taillight. It's going to replace this as well. It's probably also worn to hell. Yeah, 26%. Okay, and then we'll just zip down the new one. Okay, and then this can go over there, which is going to be trashed. Okay, let's get this thing fired up and pulled up onto our ramp truck. I hope it's going to clear the door. It should, because we don't really have got anything higher than the cab, and our other truck fits. Unless if these wheels are bigger. I don't know. Let's see if this is going to work. I'll just take it easy. Okay. It kind of fits. Alright, now we need to get it up onto our ram truck here. Alright, where the heck are we? Okay, here we are. Third person camera is the best camera for this. Alright, let's keep going. Yeah, this thing's gonna barely fit on here. Okay, are we good? We're a little bit off center by the looks of it, but it's not bad. Okay, let's just go back into this camera. We'll turn it off. I'll keep my foot on the brake. Handbrake up. And yeah, we need to take a bit of a nap because it's going to be super dark by the time we got there. So yeah, there we go. Alright, so all loaded up. Let's get those rams back in. Yeah, this thing is sitting super low. We might need to do some more work to the ramp truck as well. I usually like to lift the suspension on these, but then the stock wheels look a little bit too small for them, so we might end up changing wheels and tires on this thing a little bit later on. Okay, let's get ourselves seated in the ramp truck, which we installed the new engine in. How much fuel does this thing have? I can't really see there. Can we just maybe have a look at that? Okay, that's about a quarter of a tank, so we're gonna need some gas anyway. Alright, well, ever noticed how your vehicles, well, if you load a vehicle on the ramp truck actually starts moving on its own? It's kind of like, yeah, I don't know what to call it. It's like the car is actually pushing it or dragging it. The vehicle that's loaded, that is. Right, so we are on neutral now, and it's just starts rolling forward. Okay, let me see if I can get some gas in this thing. It's going to be a PITA probably to do this. Because, yeah, the collisions in the ramp truck has always been a bit of an issue. I found that doing it like this sometimes works. Now I cannot for the life of me get it to work. Alright, well, looking for tips on how to refuel a ramp truck. Nope, this ain't happening. Okay, well, got a solution for that. Let's just go and grab ourselves a wrench. The things you have to do in this game to get something done that you want to do. Alright, well, let's come and remove the gas tank. Okay. Just slide under here. I could probably mount the other gas tank if it's still got gas in it. But yeah, we put some diesel in it now, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. Okay, so this is how you fill up your ram truck then, I guess. You remove the gas tank. And then we'll fill it up all the way. Alright, how many liters is that? 25, 35? I can't really see from here. Actually surprised this thing is still letting us fill it all the way from here. I guess if we moved backwards a little bit more, it would just disappear. But okay, that is full tank. Okay, let's just put our fuel cap back on, and then we can get this back onto the truck. Okay, zip it down. Perfect. Now we'll just, might as well take it with us, because we always end up needing it anyway. So who knows what happens. Maybe this ram truck has got some loose brake lines. Although we did buy this thing off Devil's Dragons. Alright, and are you starting? Yes, it is. Okay, so now we've got a full tank of gas and we are ready to hit the road. Alrighty, guys. So once again, I think let's put this drive in what I would like to call a time lapse. So I'll catch up to you guys once we get over to the service center and get this behemoth of a truck behind us painted up in the new color. And we're also going to see if our controls are going to keep working once we cross the bridge, because that's also been a problem.
I got a cool Camaro in my backyard. Me and Dad just fired up. I'm about to get the keys from him in 2 weeks. About to drive it to college big time. If you wanna ride, you can ride. Said that I'd teach you something. Well, baby, let me show you. A all the way to Z and B what you're missing. C is my company. D like a Detroit diesel. E and El Camino, F and O4G. GTO, baby, let me take you for a ride. A all the way to Z, girl. L, all I got to give is a V8 engine coming red. Fingers on the gears, we're going there, riding around the whole world. Come on, girl, just say you will. Let's go to college on the highway. Let's start it up in the driveway. There's so much I can teach you. I wanna be your professor. Let me take you down the interstate. So many ways I can educate you. How about we start today? You know you want to, baby. A all the way to Z and B what you're missing. C is my company.
Alrighty, guys, so we made it over to the service center, and I must say the game is definitely acting up a bit. I noticed a bunch of lag spikes and stuff happening every time we kind of cross over to a different tile. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but yeah, there's definitely something cooking with this update that's been impacting the way the game performs, if you ask me. Okay, but we made it over here, so let's get this thing started up once again. We're gonna pull it into the paint booth over there, and I'm happy to report no issues with the controls whatsoever. Everything seems to be working as it should. Alright, come on, let's get this behemoth inside the shop. Alrighty, and yeah, is this gonna fit in here? Hope it does. Looks like it does. Okay, there we go. So that is parked. I just hope this thing is gonna paint all the way. Okay, so did we change our color code? Yes, it's 00 ACDC. Alright, so that is our beautiful blue. We are going to be painting this thing. Alright, paint car. And what do we have? We've got a beautiful blue painted pickup truck. Engine bay still looks decent. Yeah, nothing of the engine parts changed color. So I think this is pretty much a win for us. So we've got all our condition stars over there. And I think this thing looks absolutely amazing with these wheels and tires. But yeah, that is the least of our worries at the moment, being over here at the service center. We need to get this thing all the way back without any issues. And with the way the game is currently running, just hope we're going to be able to make it. Alright, let's reverse this thing all the way back. We could have actually driven this truck over here. seems to be running and driving great. Alright, let's get this thing up onto the ramp truck once again. I'm just going to avoid those pillars. I don't know if they've got collisions yet, because I don't think these pillars had collisions in the past. Okay. Let's get this thing up on here again. Okay, let's go to third person. Yeah, this color looks very similar to the color that's on the ramp truck, but it is a little bit different. This is more blue and that is more of a green. Why is this thing not going on? Come on, you can do this. You're a very strong diesel powered machine. Okay, foot on the brake, into neutral, handbrake up, and there we go. Alright. Let's just hope we make it all the way back to the shop without any issues. But I'm sure we'll be fine. Alright, so fire it up. And we've still got that lag starting a vehicle. And why the heck is this? Okay, let's just put the handbrake up. So yeah, this thing is kind of moving about with the truck loaded on the back. I guess that's probably just normal. That's just what the game does. Oh, we've got Scapegoat over there with his Bart selling some parts. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go back to the shop and I'll bring you guys back once we get there. So here we go.
In that old weather garage with oil-stained floors, he'd point to the signs while we worked on the chores. That MC there, son, that's where we begin. Then Buick and Cadillac teaching me to grin. He taught me more than just letters on the wall. Every emblem held a story I recall. Grease on his hands, pride in his eyes. Those lessons in that garage made me wise. The Dodge and the Eagle up high on display. Ford and GM showed us the American way. Hudson and International lined up just right. Jeep and Kaiser reminded me of his used delight. Now when I look back at those days gone by, every batch still makes me wanna cry. It taught me more than just letters on the wall. Every emblem held the story I recall. Grease on his hands, pride in his eyes. Those lessons in that garage made me wise. Lincoln Mercury, stories he'd share. Nash and Oldsmobile treated with care. Packard to Plymouth, time slipping away. Now I'm teaching my own in the same old way. Ramber and Studebaker, some folks forget, but Tucker and Willie still make me.
Alright, so here we are back at the shop, and let's just glance back and see if the truck's still there. Okay, well, looks like everything is fine. So yeah, I think what I'll do with that time lapse is I'll just keep it in normal time, and so that you guys can see what the lag is that I'm experiencing. It's like mini lag spikes. I don't know how to explain it, but you'll probably see it in the video. So yeah, let's just see if we can get this thing off the ramp truck again safely without any events or issues. Okay, start it up, diesel engine. Alright, glow plugs off, and there we go. That was actually a normal start without any issues. Alright, so we've got the truck off, and I think we are going to be putting this thing straight into a barn, but we'll maybe do that off camera after this episode has been recorded, because what I want to do now with the rest of the time for this episode is we are going to be, well, obviously polishing the truck first of all, because we still need to do that. And then I want to see if we can actually start with our building improvements or construction, whichever you'd like to call it. I think we've got most of the materials that we need, because I've got the mod for infinite building mats, which we are going to be using, and we'll see if we have to go and buy some materials, most probably, or finishing materials. Let's just quickly do this real quick. Okay. Was just kind of bothering me there, sitting in the middle of the freaking room. Alright, where's the angle grinder? Okay, we've got the polishing disc on here. So now we need to polish the living daylights out of this truck. Okay, that's not going to help much. Alright, well, let's start on this door. And we'll just polish it here, and then we'll just go every single panel of this truck and hope that this thing is gonna turn out the way that I hope. Nice and shiny, nice and smooth, and yeah, hopefully it's gonna be something that somebody wants to buy off of us and get some money back in our pocket. So I think what I'm gonna do, maybe guys, this is gonna take me a while probably to do this, so let's speed this process up a little bit maybe, and add a little bit of music and see if we can get this thing shined up again a little bit.
Got my hands on daddy's keys, 1973, Camaro in the driveway waiting there for me. Whoa, iron and chrome calling me home. Iron and chrome, that's all I need. 4-barrel carb and American steel. Hear me thunder, Mopar hard, tearing these back roads apart. Iron and chrome, iron and chrome. Mustang boss on Friday night, Challenger burning bright, big block Chevy screaming loud, making mama lose her mind. Oh, iron and chrome, never alone. Iron and chrome, that's all I need. 4-barrel carb and American steel. Heavy thunder, Mopar hard, tearing these back roads apart. Iron and chrome, iron and chrome. 350 small block, 446 big block. Super B.
Alrighty everybody, I think that is as good as it's going to get. I may have missed the hood a little bit, so let's just come up here and do that little cowl panel by the wiper motor and well, the wiper arms, and see if that changes still. I couldn't really see a whole lot of difference in well, where I've polished and where I haven't polished. It's certain angles you could only see it, but I think it actually looks relatively decent now. So yeah, let's just give this a little bit more of a polish here, and then I think that is probably it. Don't think we need to go too much crazy further with this. Alright, well, there she is. I'm kind of trying to see if we can get an angle so that the sun falls on it. See if there's any more orange spiel effect going on. It doesn't look like it to me. It looks like we've got every single panel. I even did the inside of the bed. Did we do the inside of the tailgate? I don't know. Just see. Just make sure of this. Yeah, how does that look? I think that looks pretty good. Pretty decent. Alrighty. Well, so yeah, what I want to do next is we are going to see if we can start with our deconstruction and reconstructing a couple of things. So first of all, yeah, let's see. We're going to be moving our tire shop over to that location over there. And I actually think there's enough space in here also to put our table over here. So let's maybe do that first. We're going to move all of our movable stuff here. So we'll grab our desk first of all, because this office is also going to be broken down. We're going to be changing a couple of things around here. Okay, so if we put our desk maybe over there, let's just put it against the wall perfectly. I think that looks good. Looks like it's standing on the floor. The chair also, although the chair is not very, I don't know. It's kind of more or less in the way rather than it's really has got any function or use at all. It's just there for looks, if you ask me. All right, so the office is empty. Notice we've got a box of bulbs over there. What is... Okay, that's empty. That's the empty one we've got. Okay. So we're going to move our tire changing station also over here. I'm going to be putting it here next to the desk, I guess. That's probably going to work out, hopefully. Alright, let's see. Try and center it up nicely. We don't want to have this thing sticking through the wall, so I think that is okay. It looks good. Alright, and what else do we still need to move here? The shelf needs to move. These wheels need to move, so we'll just shift those out. I have to go and build the new tire rack for this anyway. Alright, so let me just get everything out of the way here so that we can start our destruction here. Alright. Yeah, I've even got some 14-inch steelies still. So I think these came off of Bomey's car, and we've got this wheel that came off of Devil's Dragon's Junkyard Jesse. We've got some more Mercedes rims or Wolf wheels. We've still got these that came off of our Firebird, I think. Yeah, those came off of our Pontiac Firebird. Alright, because I want to see if we can make space for a third lift over here. That's kind of the idea why I'm moving all of this stuff. Alright, so this shelf, we're going to have to see if we need a shelf somewhere. I don't know yet. We'll have to figure this out. Where I'm going to put this exactly. I might actually put it here next to this table, or maybe outside. No, that's going to be a problem for the table, because we're going to be buying parts and they're going to be spawning here from now on. Alright, but okay, you know what? Let's grab ourselves a sledgehammer. The tool of destruction. Alright, so this is all going to come out. Okay, break it down. Alright, perfect. That is going to be so much better. So much cleaner. Open spaces here. I'll break all of this down. Alright, I might have to go and buy some finishing materials to match the floor. Or we're going to be redoing the whole floor maybe in the workshop. I don't know. I'll still decide what I want to do. But yeah, all of this needs to come out. Yeah, definitely making some changes around here. Because, yeah, I'm not using this. And I don't really see a use for this. So, for that reason, this can all go pretty much away. We need to be careful here, because I don't want to break down anything over there, because that's going to be something we'll have to fix up then. Okay, but this can all go. Okay, even this part over here and that. Okay, so this can also go. Alright, this side we're going to have a... Yeah, we're going to have to match the rest of the ceiling over there. Okay, but this still needs to come off and that needs to come off. Okay, so that looks relatively good. Okay, so I wanted to get rid of this because this frame doesn't really have a purpose here. It just kind of makes the door look like it's got somewhere to go. But it's actually not really functionable. Even that can come off. We don't need this here. And that as well. Because this is going to make our turning circle for the vehicles we bring into this bay over here a little bit bigger. Alright, so we might be able to put a third lift over there. And as for the ground, we'll have to decide whether we want to sort of do our own design here. Maybe put some more of this diamond plating up until here somewhere. We'll change the floor to the same color as these concrete blocks. Okay, so that means we're going to have to go and do a little bit of shopping. I have to take a drive over to Middletown. But okay, so that is the deconstruction part done over there. I might actually take the rest of the garage door stuff off as well, like this over here, but we're not going to do that now. Let's maybe start focusing on building our new tire rack. So, got to try and figure this out, how we're going to do this. Because the one we had was a little bit small, in my opinion. So, I'm going to see if we can do our own design here once again. So let's start with this block over here. We're going to have to manually adjust the height on this. That's going to look a little bit weird with the window. Alright, let's maybe do something like this. I don't know if that's going to... Is that sticking out on the outside? No, it's not. Okay. Alright, so we'll use this as our... yeah, I don't know what to call it exactly, but we'll see. Okay, now we need to find this this long... let me just go the other way. I think we're going towards the modded stuff now. Okay, so we're looking for this this I don't know what to call this. It's like a little square square wood piece. Okay, now we need to figure out how low we want to go with the lower rack, because we're going to do an upper rack and a lower rack. Okay, that looks good. Okay, let's just match it up with that one. We're going to go all the way through to this side of the wall. Okay, try and not let it stick out. So we're just going to put it right into the wall like that. Okay, so that is not sticking out outside. Okay, so that looks good. Alright, so let's give it a bit of a test with this tire over here. That's why I brought this over, so we can see if this is going to work, if it's too big or too small. That is almost a little bit too big. Okay, so we need to go a little bit closer to the wall. So this is usually how I do it. I start with the guess of more or less where I need to start with it, and then we just go from there. Okay, so now we can actually break this outer piece off again. Where did I put the freaking sledgehammer? There we go. Right, so now we can break this one off. Okay, that'll work. Alright, let's see how the wheel fits now. Yeah, not too shabby. Okay, so now for our next rack, we could go just round about over there. I think that'll be safe. Okay, is that okay? It looks good. Okay, let's just continue this all the way through. You've got to make sure you line it up perfectly. And then here we'll do the same as we did on that side. Did we go a little bit too far that way? Okay, so let's just break this one down again. Yeah, this happens sometimes. Okay, so there. That is looking good. So we've got our tire rack more or less built. So now just to finish it off, we're going to use the same wall as they've got over there. Okay, where is that wall? Let's just see if we can find it. Okay, yeah, sometimes these things do kind of collide with parts and vehicles and stuff, so you need to be careful when you do a little bit of building like I'm doing here. And now we're looking for that specific wall. I think I may have gone the wrong way actually. Okay, what is this? This is the... Oh, that's too big. Okay, that's the door. Okay, that's the shorter one. Now, what block did he use over there? Is that the... It's maybe one of these that he may have gone like that. Okay, so let's just turn this off. Okay, so we need to be at that height. Okay, we need to spin it around because it needs to be on the inside of this wall. Is that going to be it? Okay, it's a little bit weird. Okay, looks like I am going to have to do this. Okay, let's just put one over here for reference. Okay, and we'll carry that through all the way to there. Okay, and that'll work. I can break that down again. Okay, and now we need to find that top piece again that I've got over there, just to round it off. Okay, I might be going totally the wrong way here for this. Okay, so there we are. That is one. That is the one we are looking for. Now we just need to slide it up on top of that one. I think that is it. Let's see. Let's put a little bit of light on the subject. Okay, so I think that doesn't look too bad. We've got our tire rack more or less built now. We've got space at the top and the bottom, and we've got all this space over here. So I want to maybe put that shelf over here once again. I think we can put the shelf there, and then we've got space on the shelf for the rims that don't have tires, like the two we took off of the shelf in the first place. But okay, so we need to go and get some finishing materials actually to change this up. But we do have got this color, so let's just go ahead and do this for now. Okay, I actually think we might be able to get this done without having to go and buy anything, and it's still going to look relatively good. Okay, so let's maybe change these shelves up a little bit as well. Okay, so we've got that. Let's maybe do this. Okay, we've got this color over here. Let's do the trim piece on that like this. We'll change that to that, yes. And then all of these, we can actually change the color, because the greenish, bluish color is not really doing it for me. I think this will look just as good. Yeah, let's change all of these to this color. Because I did go ahead and change the shelves over there to the lighter wood. So I think that'll look pretty good. Okay, let's just see what it looks like now over here. We could actually do this in the same color. Yeah, let's do this. Gonna look a little bit more natural as well. Alright, there we go. We've got our tire rack built. Okay, it's getting dark again, so it's gonna make it hard to see what we are doing. But I think that part is at least sorted. So we've got our tire rack built. Okay, let's see if this shelf is going to work out over here. It might actually. Let me just get more or less a center thing going there. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So we've got our shelf for the rims, and we've got our shelf for the, well, the tire rack built. Okay, let me think. Do you think we should maybe do a third row above this one? It means the tires are going to stick out at the top. Okay, well, let's see what it looks like. I mean, if we don't like it, we can just easily quickly chop it down again. It's just going to be a matter of finding the right piece again. It's probably the other way. It's going to be quicker. Alright, come on. See now, where is this? Okay, there it is. Okay, so we wanted to go right about there. I don't know how that's going to look. It might look a bit odd, seeing as we've got our upper piece there now. Okay, come on, line it up there. Now we could actually bring it a bit closer with this. Okay, like that. Let's see where this ends up. Okay, hopefully that is not sticking out on the outside. It doesn't look like it is. Let's just see. Nope, nothing sticking out there. Okay, so we've got our third shelf, well, third bar for the tires. So that way we can do a little bit more organizing. Just see how it's going to work out, because usually by the windows the collisions are a bit weirder. Okay. But that works. I mean, we've got space for a lot of tires on this rack now, actually. So that is a brand new Funcle design shelf. Alright, let's just test it out with the 14-inch wheels as well. Because these tend to usually fall through. They are too small, but I think it'll work. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be too bad. We could actually put all of the smaller ones at the top. Oh, come on. Let's come over here. Alright, let's see. Is this going to work at the top? Otherwise, I'm going to break this down. Okay, there we go. It actually works. I just don't know what it's going to do when saving and reloading the game, if it's going to end up on the floor. Well, there's only one way to find out, really, and that is when we come back to this and we see that the tires are laying on the floor. Okay. So now I really got to go and figure out what we're going to do here. We've got that white paint, you know. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is the one. And it's super bright with our torch on, so we might end up painting this all the same again. And the top half we're going to leave in that wooden finish up there. Yeah, I think that looks more matching, if that's even a word to call it. Okay, but that looks better. Okay, what else do we have here? This is the... Okay, that's the wood, that's the lighter wood, and that's the white wood. Okay. Alright, so I'm definitely going to have to go and buy some finishing materials. And another thing I noticed when I did this the other day, I see the roof isn't painted, so might have to end up doing this as well. Because, yeah, my OCD kind of will kick in. And even along the side here, that hasn't been painted, so... I've luckily got that paint for this color, so we can go ahead and just do that, because everywhere else it's kind of painted and sorted. Is this roof painted? Yes, it is. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we did that part as well. Okay, well, so there we go. That is a little bit of construction work done in the shop, and I'm quite confident we're going to be able to fit the third lift in here now. We might even be able to move this one up a little bit. I don't know, it's going to be too close maybe, but we'll see. So yeah, the only thing that I've got left to do is maybe try and stack my tires on the shelf. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. We're going to see how this turns out and what it looks like with the tires on here. I'm going to put the smaller ones at the top. Okay, and I wonder if the rims will also work on these tire racks that we've got here now. And we've got some glitchy color here. Maybe we'll change the color of it. I don't know. I'll see if it's really an issue. If it bothers me too much, I will change it. But okay, let's bring this one up there. Okay, so that is all of the 14-inch tires. Wheels and tires. Okay. Alright, let's grab these ones. Okay, I think these will go from this side. Actually need to start looking at these things and scrapping the ones that are badly worn. Because I don't think we've got a matching set anyway. So, yeah, those are the 5-spoke ones. And we've got 3 of these, I think, with tires and 1 without a tire. So, yeah, but also the condition of some of these are actually poor. So this one is 85%, which is not too bad. But yeah, it's always good to have some wheels around the shop. When you get a project from the junkyard and they don't have wheels, then at least you've got something to put on in the meantime while you're working on your car. But okay, so there we go. That is our 16-inch wheels. Seem to be working out quite well. Right, so as for the rims, I wanted to test if this is going to fit on the shelf as well, but it might be too small. Yeah, I think they're going to just fall right through. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to be popping these on this shelf, which is actually the reason why it's here. Anyway. Alright, let's move this one over there as well. See, this is the one that we needed to put a tire on, but the condition is 41%, so it's, yeah, just kind of chilling in the shop anyway. Okay, so these are new tires I bought for something. I can't really recall what it was bought for. I think it was for, oh yeah, I bought it for Nate's truck, because I thought maybe the tires weren't going to look as good in front, the high wall ones, so we bought these for that. So yeah, they've just been sitting in the shop since then. Haven't had a use for them yet, but we'll see. I think we'll get a use for everything eventually, or just get rid of everything eventually. So yeah, guys, there's not really a whole lot more left to do, so I'm going to do a little bit more decommissioning or demolitioning real quick. So getting rid of all of these extra features. Let's just call it features. It kind of looks like a garage motor that he mounted there, and the frame for it. But it's really not necessary. I mean, the door still works perfectly fine. So yeah, just in order to match the rest of our shop, I'm taking this down. Okay, so this can come off. Let's just close the door before we end up breaking that down as well. Alright, and also this way we don't have to worry about clearing the roof if ever we have got a lifted B200 with an antenna fitted. But I think even that doesn't fit through the garage door anyway, so it's not really the best idea anyway to have a antenna on your lifted B200. But the antenna is also part of a mod from EST Banana. But okay, so there we go, guys. I think that is pretty much far over our 1 hour mark of recording time. So I'm going to thank you all so much for tuning in once again. Really appreciate the views and also all the comments. So be sure to leave some comments in the comment section for me. I do try and respond to them in a timely manner, and yeah, I do read each and every one of them. So yes, guys, thank you all so much. And then yeah, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so. And then I will see you all in the next one.
This is my garage. Wheels keep spinning on the highway. Good things happen in the driveway. Having good days with the good boys. I don't think that I'm leaving today.